to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When the client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
Man, I kind of like that. I like that applause thing. Just kind of like it. Hey,
it's because I'm here.
I think it is. I think that's what. Oh, wait, is that? I think there's more of your fans coming through. What? They're doing that thing again that they do. Hey, folks, it is Sunday night, and welcome to the Big Boneyard. You got myself, I'm Big Bone 1%er, and you got my man Tate from A-Bait. Tate, how you doing, man?
Same old. You know how it is. No sleep. There ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. Got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. Ain't nothing in the world come free.
That's lyrical. You should put that to music. Yeah,
somebody already did.
Well, look, like I said, it's Sunday night. You're here riding. So look, you rode through. You're here at the Big Boneyard, so we're gonna chop it up, and hopefully we're gonna have some fun tonight, like we usually do. Wanted to cover a few things. So it has been one hell of a year, a hell of a great time. As y'all know, there's some folks out there that just kind of talk about this stuff, all the biker stuff. But then there's those of us, we actually do this shit a lot. And it's that time of year for me. Yeah. So it's not just pontificating about miscellaneous stuff, and it's not like, we got bikes, we actually own bikes, and motorcycle clubs and organizations, we actually have bikes and we ride them and we get down and we do this stuff. And the cool part about it is, by going out, finding out things, learning things, living this lifestyle, we're able to accurately share more of that stuff with you. So it's coming, as they say, right from the horse's mouth. It's real shit. It's not a bunch of BS or whichever like that. And I think that makes the Big Boneyard what it is. And whether you're following on, what do you call it, on some of the other social media stuff or whatever, it's real stuff. But it's kind of cool. And but Tate, man, you've been getting it in lately. I mean, like, here's the thing. Me and Tate don't live nowhere near each other, but I've seen you more times than freaking some of my damn neighbors. What the hell have you been doing, man?
Well, you know how it is, circumnavigating the great state of Florida, especially before hurricane season hits.
Yeah. Oh yeah, facts.
State meetings left and right, and then actually, I just seen you a couple hours ago. Yeah,
absolutely. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and do that too. Hey, for OG, Bob Contorno, aka OG, he's the president of the Boneyard chapter. Go figure, cool ass name. But he's actually the president of the Boneyard chapter of A-Bait, and which is in Pasco County, Florida. So he tied the noose, or not tied the noose. I said that wrong. What I mean is, he got engaged, which means that he's preemptively preparing to tie the noose, not whatever, get hitched, as it were. So OG, if you're watching, which you should be, damn it, congratulations to OG and Kathy for preparing to tie the damn noose there. On my end of things, I've been getting it in. Also circumnavigating the state, both some civilian type stuff, some club type stuff, just depending on what we're talking about. But been getting it in. It's been all right.
Movie star type shit.
Yeah, and we're working on the movie. We're still, go figure, we're still not finished shooting the movie. The movie's called Riding Dirty, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. Some of the scenes are, I am jacked up about some of the scenes in this movie. I'll put it like this, without going into great detail. We burned through about 4 or 5 stuntmen at this point, like, that ain't coming back. I mean, they're not dead. They're just like, whoo, this is too hard, and a couple of them just, had to go to the hospital and so on and so forth.
I mean, I didn't get a call to be a stuntman.
No.
I'd have been down for that shit.
Hey, man, I kind of like you, so, I don't think that's right for you. But The one dude, you wasn't there for this one night, but the one night a dude got stabbing himself actually in one of the scenes, as crazy as that sounds. You know, just totally fucked a nice ass custom car. Beautiful custom car was in the room for one of the scenes. Totally fucked that car up. That wasn't even, it was a small part of it, but the car was supposed to be able to be still in good shape when the scene was over. Nah. Anyway, but the movie's called Riding Dirty. And of course, when the movie's released, we're going to make sure everybody has an opportunity to find out about the movie, where they can watch it, and so on and so forth. Initially, it's going to be coming out in theaters before the end of the year. I want to say in the early fall, I believe it's going to be released. It'll start off in movie theaters, and then after that, my understanding is it's going to, back in the day, they used to call it straight to video, where you make a movie and it never goes to the theater. This is a little bit different in the sense that the movie's going to the theaters, but the intention is for, after a relatively short run in the theaters, it's going straight to streaming. So it'll be on like Hulu, Netflix, or what's the other one? Hulu, Netflix, or Tubi, or something like that.
Amazon, shit like that.
Yeah, Amazon is one of the ones. I don't know for sure who all is going to pick it up, but I know it's going somewhere. So that's above my my pay grade there about that thing. But you know, it's getting ready to get going. By the way, hey, if you're already watching, hey, I see you, BD. That's Black Dragon, the Midnight Ghost Rider. We see you there. Hollywood, North Carolina Guardians. We see y'all out there. So look, if you're watching the show, hit the like button. Do us a solid. The algorithm will love you for it. But hit the like button, and also share this. Put it on your timeline. Share it with some folks. Let some other folks be able to see it. You know, if you're watching on YouTube, you can still do the same thing. So one little point of business that we want to get out of the way right quick. We get into all kinds of different conversations here. So having said that, we do what we call a disclaimer. And that's basically, we want to point out that whatever we're talking about here, this is our opinions only. They do not reflect any organizations that we're associated with. We love those organizations, but we are speaking for ourselves, not those organizations, unless you're Tate, because Tate can actually speak for his organization to some degree. But anyway, having said that, these are our opinions, not necessarily reflective of our organizations. Thank you. That was like a speech.
We need to record that.
Huh?
Yo, that and just hit a button.
Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Like do like a video recording, hit a button, bam. There you go. That's a good idea, man. See, that's why I fuck with you, man.
And we could put it in the intro, and we ain't got to waste time. Ooh. Put it at the end of the intro.
See, I kind of dig the way that you're doing that right there. But hey, so look, so tonight's the conversation tonight is actually going to be a kind of good one. I think we're going to enjoy this. And so definitely, like I said, hit the like button if you didn't do it. I'm watching y'all, so you didn't hit the like button. But anyway, so what's going on with it is like this. The show is called Real Biker Talk. What the fuck did he just say? That's what we're saying. That's what we're calling. Hey, Ghost Eagle, what's up? Ghost Eagle Guardian, what's up, man? Hey, Ghost Eagle, share the show, hit the like button, help a brother out. You know, I've been out doing biker shit, so we want folks to know what's going on, brother. Always good to see you. But so here's the thing. So Real Biker Talk. What the fuck did he just say? That's the name of the show. That's what we're actually calling the show. And allow me to explain. So here's what we wrote in the description. It said, so my buddy, a citizen, met a guy, a biker, at the gas station, and he went to talk to him. After asking his question, the biker said to him, he was trying to go to where he owes, but now he wasn't going back to the CH because his backpack flipped his lid on the north side of their AO, and he had the boogie because the ops was froggy, and so was One Time. After One Time got hot, he hit the slab, bust the sentry, and bumped the curb to the SAT house. So my buddy asked me, what the fuck is he talking about? Because he said all he wanted to know was what kind of fucking bike he was riding. What the fuck? So here's the thing. If you didn't understand any of what I just said, then you're probably what we call a citizen, which we'll explain that later. Now, if you got all or most of what I just said, you're probably one of us or close enough to us. But either way, we're going to chop it up a little bit about this and all this crazy talk. We're going to talk about all that stuff tonight on the Big Boneyard. So we'll kind of try to decipher some of all of that craziness that I just said. Also, if you got any questions, comments, or any of that kind of stuff, no, this is not this is not a rerun. Soldier from Hard Knocks, what's up, baby? No, it's not a rerun. But
we're live.
I know.
Finally
right?
got his ass back on the camera.
We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Been out there like chopping it up and hitting the slab and all that. But anyway, phone number, if you want to call in, we definitely would love to hear from you. The phone number is 310-870-8994. So 310-870-8994 if you want to give us a call, ask a question, comment, any of that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, Soldier, since you're here, hit the like button and definitely share this show with everybody and their damn mama. And yeah, you're right. It's been a while, brother. It's definitely been a while. So the Soldier, but anyway, so here's the thing. So there's all these different, and me and Tate have been talking about this a lot. It keeps coming up. Some very specific examples where people were bringing up stuff like, hey, man, what does this mean? Or didn't you say such and such? And they completely misunderstood what he said or what I said. And it kind of dawned on us that we do biker speech, but that's like our normal speech. That's just how we talk, because that's kind of like our lifestyle, you know? And but it's kind of confusing to a lot of folks. But what we're going to do is try to explain some of that stuff. So we literally, no bullshit, we sat down and wrote out, I'm talking old school, you know, like our ancestors used to do with a pen and paper, and wrote some shit down. So we got a little list or some list type stuff. So we're going to chop it up about the things that people say one thing, but they meant something completely different, or like the things that bikers say that nobody understands. So I guess I'll kind of get us started just by putting down some basic ground rules for understanding. The first thing is, you'll hear us say biker, biker, biker. You'll hear me say citizen and rider. Here's what I'm talking about. First of all, a rider, you would assume correctly that a rider is a guy who owns a motorcycle and who can ride the motorcycle. That would be correct. That dude is not necessarily a biker. Stand by 1 second. Somebody's calling us. Let's see what's up. Hey, hello, and thank you for calling the Big Boneyard. This Big Bone 1%er. How can we help you tonight? Who's this?
Yes, this is Black Dragon, the Midnight Ghost Rider from Charleston, West Virginia, man.
What's going on, man? Was you watching?
Shit. Huh?
Are you watching the show?
Hell yeah. You said I could call, so I'm already calling you.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Look, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you, but matter of fact, so hang on there just for a second. So let me finish explaining this little thing I'm explaining. So, but here's what's going on. So the first thing is, I want to definitely differentiate between, just so we can have some basic understanding of stuff we're talking about in case you're not familiar with all this stuff. So first thing is a rider. You would be correct in assuming a rider is some guy or girl who owns a motorcycle. They ride it sometimes, you know, once a month, twice a week, whichever.
Trailer it to Daytona.
Yeah, right. For a lot of these people, these are people where that motorcycle is, you know, it's like their hobby or just a fun thing to do, or they're trying to save money on gas, you know, like that kind of thing. That is a rider. That's a rider. And you'll hear the term rider, especially on the sport bike side. They all often refer to each other as riders, or, oh, he's a good rider, or such and such, or he's been a rider for 5 years. Hey, Black Dragon, you might have to hit the
mute button.
The mute button, because we can hear you way too loud. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. I'll do that right now.
Okay. Thank you. But anyway, so rider. Now a biker, on the other hand, so a biker, I actually wrote this out so I could communicate this well, but a biker, so that's somebody who enjoys biking immensely. They consider themselves a part of the MC culture. And that MC culture is either part or the main part or a big part of their identity as to who they are. Like when they introduce themselves, I'm so-and-so and so-and-so, a biker from such and such, right? That's a part of their identity, even when they're not on the bike, or even if it's Thursday afternoon at the damn gym or whatever, right? And most likely, a lot of times, a biker, not all the time, but a lot of times they're either a member of a motorcycle club, a motorcycle group or association, or they're a KA, or known associate, which a known associate is something different, because there's riders, there's bikers, which you figured out what that is, known associate. So a known associate is somebody who, they're not a patched member of a motorcycle club, but they're pretty close to the club or a person or persons in that club, and they have a clear allegiance to that specific club or that bloodline, as we call it, that group of folks that are part of that same group of clubs. You know, sometimes they'll say, oh, they're black and white affiliated or red and white affiliated or whatever it is. So that's a known associate. That's an expression that we use on the set, like in the biker community, some states more than others. And it's also a law enforcement also refers to someone as a known associate. That means they know that guy is not a member of the club, but he's mighty close, right? So known associate.
Gang pod type shit.
We don't like to use a G word, but that's the way. That's the way that the cops look at it. And the thing about a known associate is it's pretty much understood as a known associate. Hey, you're going to back them guys up. If something kicks off, they got an issue, problem, or concern, they need some help. It's not uncommon to reach out and make a phone call or to turn to your left because he's probably right there anyway and say, hey, we need help. A good known associate, you don't even have to ask him. He already knows what's going on and he's already there. So known associate. So that's rider, biker, known associate. That's just so we can get some real basic stuff out of the way, basic understanding there. But to take it further, so we got all these words and all these names. What else was there? There was also, well, that was the big thing. That was the one we wanted to get out of the way in the beginning. So having said that, here's a list of stuff. I'll do a few, you do a few, we'll go down the list. Well, matter of fact, well, shit, that was my big one. What do you got? What's on your list? Give me a couple of them.
Let's go colors, rags, and cuts.
Wow. You come in, you just came in hot, right? All right, that's a good one. You said colors, rags, or cuts. Okay, sir, give us the definition and then we'll pontificate on that together. And by the way, if you're watching the show and you got an opinion about any of these sort of things, just jump in there and tell us. Foxy, what's up? Foxy from the Proc, we see you in there. Miami, ¿Cómo está, mamita? Risky, brother, been trying to catch up with you all week. My bad, we gonna get up. But yeah, everybody, oh, by the way, everybody whose name I just said, hit the like button and share this with some folks. But anyway, rags, cuts, and colors.
So from my understanding, if you are wearing, well, nowadays it's a vest. Used to it was a jacket that they cut the damn sleeves off of.
Right.
With a patch on the back, that's your rags or your cut. Now, colors can be anything down to t-shirts, hoodies, anything like that, but it's your club colors, and it has your patch on it somewhere.
Okay. Kind of, sort of. All right. This is the pontificating part I was talking about. I just enunciate that word, pontificating.
Spell
all right,
it.
So I would, but I'm not allowed to because of,
Google.
No, I know how to spell pontificating. I was a spelling bee champ when I was 6. But so here's the thing. Colors. That is a generalized, and you're right, generalized expression for something displaying the emblem or the identification of your particular the organization that you're a part of. So that can be what we call, if it's a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or something like that, we would refer those, exactly, we would call those soft colors. So soft colors mean that's not your regular club issued stuff. Hold on. So that's not your regular club issued stuff. That would be, something that maybe you bought from the club or the club had made for you, or you had made, whatever. But that's not your real rags, your real cut. So as it relates to cut, there's a big back and forth forever as to how the expression cut. So we understand what your vest is. It has your patches on it, identifying identifying your club, or your MC or your RC or your whatever your organization is. Now, cut. Some people will tell you that came from way back in the day, like about the 1940s. There's a couple of different arguments. I think they're both true to some degree. But what happened is this. Guys used to have those denim vests back in the day that was all the rage in the around the 1940s and 50s. And they were denim jackets. Well, a lot of these guys, to be cool, or like literally and figuratively to be cool, they cut the sleeves off. So by cutting those sleeves off, they started calling them cuts. right? And that just sort of one of those names that stuck. There's also where when it came to, and we're talking about 1941, when after the so-called Hollister riots, a lot of the clubs back then who had these big patches from the, that they wanted some AMA event for nicest motorcycle or cleanest bike or something like this. The bigger the prize, the bigger the award, the bigger the patch that they won was. So to show their disdain for the AMA, a lot of those guys cut those big patches into 3 separate pieces and separate them. That's where the 3-piece patch originally came from. And then it ultimately, over a period of time, it changed to a club name, your area, and the center patch in the middle with your club logo on it or whatever. So thus the name, again, cut. So no matter which thing you choose to believe, a cut, and that's something for the longest time, that was something you didn't hear about that on the East Coast. You only heard about that on the West Coast, like California, Wyoming, Nevada, you know, out there, Utah. So that was like a West Coast kind of a thing for a long time. But over the past 15 years, it's become much more prevalent on the East Coast, from New York all the way down to Florida and so forth. So, you know, the world's becoming a smaller place. So cut. Now, rags, that's something, it's an interesting expression that's been on the set for a long time, but it was primarily on the black side for a long time. But again, over the past 10 to 15 years, again, world's getting a smaller place. People communicate, people are riding all over the place. And now when you throw in the advent of social media, the internet and all like this, people are communicating not just across club lines, but across color lines and so on and so forth. So people start learning from each other. So now you hear white guys from an all-white club that's never had a black guy in it saying, hey, yeah, I just got my new set of rags. And we know what he's talking about. So that's kind of how language works. Mike House in the house. Miss Sanders, always good to see you, ma'am. Always good to see you. Dangerous Company. Patrick Archibald, motherfucking Jones up in the house. It's good to see all of y'all. And since you came, y'all take a minute, hit the like button. Definitely share this show with everybody and their mama. So that's cuts, colors, rags. So we kind of delve into it. Give us another one, brother.
Here's one you're going to have to elaborate on because there's multiple different sets. Big Four.
Are you killing me? Okay, all right. So,
I mean, don't give me an objective and expect me to fail.
No. All right, no, I hear you. All right, so Big Four depends on who you're talking to, because sometimes, depending on who you're talking to, it's actually the Big Five or the Big Seven or the Big Eight. Are you talking to 81 out of, when I say 81, I'm talking about 81 as in Hell's Angels. If you're talking to an 81, well, he's got a completely different list as if you're talking to a Spanish dude who's in Miami. And what I mean by that is this. So the Big Four, we're talking about the 4 major clubs in the United States, or depending on whether or not you're talking about an international club, because some national clubs are actually international because they're in other countries. So if we're talking about the Big Four, you might talk about, and the list changes depending on who you're talking about. So I'll just name a few. We might be talking about like Outlaws, Hells Angels, Banditos, Mongols. You could throw in Sons of Silence. You could throw in Vagos. The list goes on and on. Well, as far as the top, the biggest clubs, the Big Four, kind of like that. But if you're talking to some folks I know, that ain't who, those guys ain't even on the list. Now you're talking about clubs like the largest all-black club on the planet. You might be talking about Sin City. You might be talking about Thunder Guard. You might be talking about Wheels of Soul and like that. So depends on who you're talking to. But typically when somebody says the Big Four, if they're talking about the Big Four, depends on who you're talking to and where you're talking to. But the same names are always going to come up. What we're talking about is the largest dominant clubs in the country or in the world. And also, are we talking about on the black side or are we talking about on the white side? You know, so that's the thing. That's a good one though. All right, you almost got me now. All right.
What you got?
All right, hit me with one more, then I'll do a thing. What else you got?
The difference between a PO and an old lady.
I swear you're killing me. Like, why do you hate me?
I don't.
I don't know. I don't know. No, wait a minute. That's the wrong button. Hold on. Let me try that again. Why do you hate me? All right. No, but for real though. So that actually another good ass question. All right, man. We ain't even got started, and you already got us started. So
we only 30 minutes in.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So, you said a PO, or old lady, and what else?
No, just those two.
PO and old lady. Okay. So PO and an old lady. So a PO, we're talking about property of, and property of that also varies slightly depending on whether we're talking on the white side or the black side and like that. Property of that could be, I'll say on the black side, property of could be your wife, your girlfriend, could also be your aunt or your niece or even your daughter, or you got a neighbor, she's cool as all hell, she loves the culture, she loves going out to the different bike nights and the different clubhouses and stuff like that. She's cool enough and close enough, she wants to be more involved and plugged into that community, so she'd become a property of. Property of is not by any stretch of the imagination a bad thing. People who don't understand what it is say, oh, that must mean she must be doing all this crazy stuff for the club. That's just not true. It's actually typically POs get a great amount of respect. And what it is while she's not, especially with a 1%er club, she's not a full patch member of the club, but she's pretty damn close. She is there to support her sponsor, whoever her old man is, her husband or boyfriend, or her uncle or whatever he is, whoever her sponsor is, who says, yep, she's gonna wear those rags, she's with us. And there's POs who have been POs for 20, 30, 40 years and love being a part of the organization. They're a part of the family. Their primary function is to keep him up and running, her sponsor, watch out for the members of the club, make sure that they got what they need if she's backing them up. There a lot of times I've been to clubhouses. There's one particular a white club. I remember the first time I went to this club, and I literally asked the guy, no kidding, I asked him, I said, hey man, we had just had some great food. I'm like, hey, you guys have some toothpicks? And he looked like I asked him an algebra question. He's like, I don't know. He goes, you got to ask that property over there. And I learned really quickly that when it came to that particular clubhouse, and a lot like them, you can't ask those brothers shit. They don't know nothing. You want to know something? Ask that woman over there. Ask that woman over there. You ask one of them POs, they got that stuff on lock because they know, because that's them. They run it. They hold it down. They handle everything going on there. And those brothers just go handle biker shit. They deal with club shit. And that's a really good example of what happens with POs. They're going to take care of their sponsor. They're going to take care of the members in the club. And a lot of times in a certain club, there might be a whole bunch of different POs, but they'll get together, work stuff out, make sure that their sponsors individually and the club in general is taken care of. So that's what a property of is. And now there's different, it varies from one club to the next and from the white side to the black side as far like certain things. Because like on the white side, a lot of times you have one PO and typically she's your wife or your girlfriend, or maybe some chick that just you felt like, hey, she needs to be a PO, and typically you just got one. On the black side, you can have more than one PO because it, like I said, it could be your aunt, your sister, your cousin, some girl, it doesn't mean y'all are sleeping together or anything else. It just means, say, she digs the culture and wants to be a part of it, and you think she's okay enough to get her involved in that. So that's a PO. And old lady, that's a good one too, because old lady, and most people would be correct if they think, oh, well, that means that's his wife or his girlfriend. Yep, that's a wife or a girlfriend. And now there's the question now becomes, his old lady, what if she doesn't get on the bike? What if she never comes to the clubhouse? What if you don't know nothing about her other than she's the mother of his kids and she sends him out the door, packs him a lunch because we got to ride to Idaho for a few days and she wants to make sure he's okay. She takes care of him, holds him down and helps him with whatever he needs, like a wife would, but you never see her. You don't talk to her, nothing, right? So that's his old lady, but she's also what they call a house mouse. house mouse, as in she stays in the house. You don't ever see her. But then there's another type of house mouse. That's why I was saying you were killing me when you asked that question.
Open all kinds of doors.
House mouse. Let's say there's some girl that few folks know her. Everybody knows her. She's been hanging out with the club, coming to the open house and stuff like that. She's cool with a lot of folks. And she's like, man, I'm digging this stuff. I like this. And she's not exactly a property just yet because nobody said, hey, we're going to put some rags on your butt. She's there. She's going to hang out all the time. She's practically like furniture. She's always there. She's going to help out, make some food, pour a couple of drinks or whatever. She's going to help clean the place up. And she is there and dependable as all get out. And she's going to move like that until she does become somebody's old lady or she does become somebody's property. So if it was a guy, you'd say, man, that guy's a probie. He's trying to, or a probie prospect. He's trying to earn his way into the club or earn his way to where someone says, hey, maybe this guy ought to become a prospect. And then, it's a process to it. So if you're a woman, that's actually one pathway to becoming a PO is house mouse with full intention on, I want to have a set of rags one day. Here's the way to do it. I'm going to show these guys that I love this. I'm a part of this. I'm here to help. I want to be a part of this family. So that's why I said it's sort of a loaded question that you hit me with there. And I think you did it on purpose. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. You already knew that one was coming.
All right. All right. So let me do a few now because you're killing me over here. And by the way, if y'all are thinking of something, okay, here you go. All right, Soldier just said, how about the difference between prospects and probies? That is a great question. It comes up a lot. And here's the thing, not much difference. So probies, as I'm sure you know, probies is just abbreviation for probate or probationary. So a prospect, a guy who's wanting to be a member of the club, he's trying to earn his way into the club. Some folks call them prospects. Some call them probates, as in short for probational or probationary. And on the black side, we have a tendency to say probies. But it's actually the same thing. I've heard people argue up one side and down the other, but in real life, it's the same thing. Now, what, if anything, they have to do to earn their way into that club? That varies from club to club and sometimes from chapter to chapter as far as what's going to happen or what he needs to do to earn his way into that club. I'm saying club specific stuff, but it's all the same stuff. And the best advice, since we're going in that direction, best advice for a probie, prospect, or however you want to call yourself is you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen twice as much as you talk, learn as much as you can, and do everything that you can. You try to do that without hesitation and make yourself valuable to the club. And by doing that, and if you're doing it for all the right reasons, chances are it'll show and it'll make it a little easier for you to go through that process. But that's a great question, though. So, look, y'all keep the questions coming. If you got them, that's what we're here to do. This is a clearinghouse situation tonight. We're trying to, explain away and, address a whole lot of stuff. So I'll jump on. Let me grab a little scribbly paper here. Oh, speaking of which, I missed a little something earlier when I was talking about riders. When I was talking about, what was I saying? I said riders, bikers, known associates. I forgot one, citizen. A citizen is somebody who's none of those things. A citizen is just Joe Blow, whoever the fuck. Doesn't have any association with the MC or the support clubs, or he's not a known associate. He knows very little about this stuff. He's just some regular guy. So citizen. And I say all that to mean that the stuff that goes on in the biker world, typically that don't have nothing to do with him. So if we have a headache or a problem, that's not supposed to affect citizens out there in the world. As long as nobody's messing with you or getting in your face or any of this kind of stuff, then citizens don't got nothing to do with what we do and vice versa. And what they do ain't none of our business. This biker world really is one of those live and let live type of situations. Like, hey, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. And as long as your thing don't bother my thing, we ain't gonna have a thing. So there we go. All right. So how about this? AMA. Tate, what the hell is the AMA?
The AMA would be the American Motorcyclists Association, which kind of like tried to take over the whole biker community when it first started. And that's where a lot of your diamond clubs came from, was pretty much saying, fuck the AMA. and we're gonna do things our own fucking way. I would compare the AMA to exactly what ABATE was against in the beginning. Don't tell us what to do.
Right.
And I might get, slack for that, but that's my personal opinion.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I think what it is, the AMA, when Tate says that the AMA sort of started a lot of that, what it was, after the Hollister riots, which I hate that name, but there was a article that went out on the Associated Press, as in, I think it even went to was in Time magazine or something like that back in the day. But there was a quote in that from that particular article that was telling all about the stuff that supposedly happened in Hollister, California, and the big quote was, well, 99% of all motorcyclists are law-abiding citizens, but only 1% of them are outlaws. And that expression sort of hit. And the AMA started basically, and they already were doing it, looking down at a certain type of biker. Like if you weren't, because back in the day, motorcycling was something that was reserved primarily for people that had a lot of money, and it was considered a upscale sort of a thing to do, sort of like boating is a little bit, where like a husband and wife will put on their Sunday best and they'd have those matching ice cream man looking costumes, and they'd have matching hats and matching goggles, and the motorcycle would be real clean, and they'd show up and they'd win best bike or best dressed couple or something like that, and they'd get a patch. Again, the bigger the prize, the bigger the patch, and they would do that sort of thing. And the sponsors like Harley Davidson and Norton and some of these other, Suzuki and Yamaha were around back then as well. And they wanted to sell motorcycles, and they wanted to sell them to people that could afford them. So they were going for a certain, and AMA was all a part of that because these big companies were sponsors to the AMA events. So they were in bed together, so to speak. So they wanted a certain type of people to be known as motorcycle people, not those scummy looking so-and-sos that are running around here in those cut off jean jackets and racing motorcycles up hills and all this kind of crazy stuff. So that's from whence that came. So the AMA really disassociated themselves with a certain type, and that certain type was like, fuck you, we don't want to be with you anyway, so we'll do our own thing. So here it is, it's 2024, and there's still a considerable amount of division between the AMA and other organizations. I know the AMA has, the COC doesn't allow any interaction with the AMA or AMA affiliates or any of that kind of stuff. And they still have the AMA wants to be the one to call the shots about a lot of biker stuff, but they're not. They've been fighting to get that sort of credibility for years. So the only thing they have is money in association with some big sponsors like Harley and some others. But so that's the AMA. Okay, let's try something different. ACAB, ACAB. Are you familiar with that one?
Nah.
Okay, so that's some diamond shit. So those of us that wear that jewelry is something we're concerned with. ACAB, that means all cops are bastards. All cops are bastards. ACAB. You'll see it on a patch every now and then. So if you see that patch and it says ACAB, tell us how you really feel. He's telling you how he really feels. Because like a dude told me once upon a time, the cops, their job is to lock us up and throw away the key. And our idea of life behind bars and their idea of life behind bars, two different things. But they're behind bars. You can't ride your motorcycle if you're locked up. So our job is to stay the hell out of jail, ride free, do our things, support our club, fuck with our bros, and ride your shit. That's what we want to do. And they want to lock us up for doing it. So, there you go.
But if y'all find a place that'll let us ride while we're incarcerated,
right.
I'll get you my details in case I ever need to know where the hell to go.
Right on. Big man Chris, thank you for checking in, brother. And hey, Slow Burn, I see you, Slow Burn. All good to see you, man. But you know what I'm saying? So that's what ACAB is. All right, here's another one. Let me see. Let me go down my list. Oh, ATGAT. So sport bike guys, did I throw you off on that one? ATGAT?
Yeah.
Okay, ATGAT is all the gear all the time. So if you ever see some of these young sport bike kids and they look like Ninja Turtles and they got the helmet and they got the thing and the patches and this and they got a thing on the back and they got the leather suit and the knees and the boots and the thing and then they got some metal things on the bottom and all like that. Then they got some electric things going here and they got a GoPro here and all that shit.
Oh, the Tron guys.
Yeah, they look like they came off the front. That's all the gear all the time. So that expression is @GAT. DeWitt, Grizz, what's up? Hey, Chris, Grizz, slow burn, hit the like button and share this with everybody and their mama. But
and their daddy.
And their daddy. Their daddy can, you can share with the daddy too. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, so @GAT is that. I mean, and people feel differently about wearing all the gear all the time. Cause like if you live in Florida and it's 92 degrees, maybe you don't want to go out there with 75 pounds of gear on, but the sport bike guys, they do it, and I hear them say all the time, hey, it's, I'd rather have sweat on my back than blood on my back. And it's all that kind of, dire sounding stuff. But at the same time, I have a tendency not to do wheelies at 100 miles an hour during rush hour traffic. But, that's just me.
That point. But then again, I mean, we have two different definitions of that because we wear all our gear all the time. Our gear, we just don't look like we just came out of a Tron movie. More like, well, for people to, associate, more like a Sons of Anarchy set than a Tron movie.
Right, exactly. And then, anything can happen to anybody anytime. You can be in a car and have an accident or a motorcycle and have an accident, but you increase the chances exponentially. And I'm not saying that all guys on sport bikes ride like assholes, but enough do. And those are the ones that one, they make it bad for everybody else. They put a bad name on everybody else who's not doing all that silly shit. But @GAT, all the gear, all the time. That's what that means. And I'll hit you with, here's another one. Ape hangers.
Comfortable blast bars, man. I love apes. So ape hangers and the law on ape hangers is different depending on where you're at. Like in the state of Florida, ape hangers is anything above, I think 15 inches, but it can't be any higher than your shoulder.
Okay, yeah. So exactly. So, and it varies from, like you said, from area, state to state. So when you think about ape hangers, you see a guy on a motorcycle and he's doing this because his bars are way up here. That's ape hangers. And maybe they might just be like right about here. That's ape hangers. If he's like this, okay, those are standard bars. But if he's up here, those are definitely ape hangers. So like you're hanging, I'm knocking shit over. Like you're hanging, you're hanging your gorilla mitts off the damn, your handlebars, your grips. Boom, you're up like that. Ape hangers. All right, let me hit you one more. What about speaking of the other stuff we were talking about? Brain bucket, a lid.
I'm against them.
Or a lid.
Helmet. I don't wear one unless it's raining, but
it's about like me. If it's cold, if it's cold, I'm going Ninja Turtle, man.
Not me.
Full face. No, I'm saying if it's cold and raining, you're gonna see me. I'll put on a full face lid. Not all the time. Sometimes I'll just do like a, like the thing with like a half shell or something like that. But that's when I'm breaking out the lid. So if we say lid, brain bucket, we're talking about a helmet. That's what that is. And there's a lot of different styles. And in Florida, as long as you've got your at least 10,000 insurance, any type of insurance there is, you're not legally required to wear a helmet. If you're under 21, you have to wear a helmet no matter what. That's the law. They even have a special plate, a special license plate for anybody that's under 21. And I'm saying in Florida, but in your state, it might be different in your country. Like if you're in Canada or Australia or something. I think Australia, the whole country is helmets only. And Canada, I think it's the same thing. But, it's cold up there a lot, so why wouldn't you anyway? But that's just me. But, we say, your ride, you decide. That's some Florida shit.
Oh, yeah.
And let me see. Here, you hit me with a couple of them. What do you got?
Backyard.
Okay. Okay, so backyard. Oh, and what's up there? Hey, little bird. We see you in there, little bird. Oh, and we got a question. It said, he said, and you got to let your old lady know not to get in your business when you're trying to talk to other brothers, correct? Yes, that is a fact. That was from Black Dragon and Midnight Ghost Rider. Yeah, that's correct, sir. That's correct. See
Well,
out
I
there,
would say your old lady or your PO, especially if she's wearing that property patch.
Oh yeah,
should already know that. You shouldn't have to explain that.
oh yeah, oh yeah, or at least you explained it once. You know, that ain't something that you need to explain again and again and again and again. If you do, you got a problem. But what you say? You said
backyard.
Backyard. Okay, so backyard. Let me cover that this way. I even scribbled down because there's backyard. So if we're talking about your backyard, and I actually wrote this out. How did I write that shit out? Okay, your backyard. That's the area that you ride in frequently, where like the folks that you deal with and everything. Those are places where you go. Typically, that's close to where you live or close to where your clubhouse is or whatever. That's your area, right? Now on the set. Amongst clubs, we have a tendency to say AO because AO, that's your area, because that's the same as a backyard. But if you're in a club, if you're in certain clubs, you have an AO. AO is your area of operation, like where y'all doing business, or metaphorically speaking. But what area do you cover? So how did I write that? MC expression mean area of operation. So that is how did I write this? I wrote the region that you're responsible, the geographical territory that belongs to you. So that's your backyard, that's your AO or your backyard, depending on who you're talking to. But that's where you at, where you from, that kind of thing. That's good. Okay, give me one more. I'm getting good at this.
All right, I got one that some of the clubs in my area use. Big Brother.
Okay, all right. So Big Brother is if you are in an area, there's a certain dominant club. If you're in particular, if you're in their bloodline, or even if your dominant club blessed, if your club was blessed by a certain dominant club, or if you're a support club to a certain dominant club, the members of that club are not your bro. That's your big bro. Because if it's like somebody you don't know, a guy, and you're like, hey bro, what's going on? Da 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 da. Y'all have heard me say it 100 times. Don't bro me if you don't know me. Bro is something that somebody who went through what I went through to get a patch on my back that's the same as the one that guy got, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, that's my bro. I don't know who the hell you are. I met you 2 minutes ago and you're like, bro this, bro that, bro the other thing. If you're in a support club and you're like, bro, okay, you're wrong. So you can hit me with a big bro, or you can call me by my name, but we ain't bros unless we establish that. Like, for example, if I'm talking to a guy from a support club and he calls me bro, I might have an issue with it. If he calls me big bro, we're cool. If he was in the Marine Corps and he calls me brother, oh, we're fine all day long, because we're dealing with each other on a different level. So, and it's the same sort of way, like with guys that might be in the same fraternity, or if this guy's a Mason and that guy's a Mason, even though this guy's a dominant and this guy's a support club. So there's all these little nuances to it. But and people hit you with the brother and the bro all day, every day. And just like a lot of things, like on the set, especially as it relates to MCs, we got more laws than the damn Constitution, and a lot of them are not written down somewhere. They're just more like protocol, what citizens would call etiquette. Like, here's the way you conduct yourself, and here's the way you have certain conversations. So bro, brother, that just means you're expressing to somebody else, but you're understanding of what your station is. So big bro, big brother. Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable, and that's going to happen when one person is here. You're acknowledging that other person's status, so to speak, and vice versa.
Yeah,
it's never a disrespectful thing. I mean, it's encouraged to hit them with the big bro if it's applied.
Gotcha.
Okay, all right. What else you got?
What do you got?
Me? Okay, I'll go. Okay, I got one. This is a fun one, bitch. What I really mean by that is so there's bitch as in riding bitch, or backpack, or back warmer. So what we're talking about, if somebody says, oh, you're riding bitch, nowadays, especially with the sport bike guys, they love to say, "Oh, she's backpacking." But those of us of a certain age, a lot of stuff throws back to like that 60s and 70s kind of lingo. So if you got a girl riding on the back of your bike, she's riding bitch. That don't mean she's a bitch. That just means, hey, she's riding bitch. That's just how we talk. But people also say she's a backpack. I got a back warmer. I got a backpack, like that. So the whole riding bitch, that's what that is. That's the person, that woman who's riding with you. I say woman because ain't no dude riding with nobody, I know. But what is that one? What about backdoor?
So backdoor would be the last man in the pack, tail gunner. Anything happens, he stops. He makes sure everything's good. If he has to contact your SA or your president, whoever happens to be on that ride, it should be both of them. But I mean, people these days. But that's your. I mean, in my chapter, it's our assistant sergeant at arms. Right. He stops if somebody stops, and then the cars stop. Whoever's in a cage stops with them.
Right.
Just in case.
So the way that works a lot of times is if you got cages following you, the cages typically are going to be after somewhere behind the tail gunner, which is the back door, the tail gunner. Sometimes some folks call them, like I know out west, they call them sweep a lot, the guy who's sweeping up. So that's the guy that's all the way in the back. And typically, contrary to popular belief, the guy all the way in the back who's there purposely, one, the sergeant at arms probably put him there, or excuse me, the road captain probably put him there, or in some cases, he is the damn road captain, because from all the way in the back, you can kind of see everything. So if he needs to get out of formation to pull up, the ride beside the pack and say, "Hey, you guys got a big gap, pull it up," he can do that. If there's a car which is approaching and he needs to make sure that, hey, let me get here so this car understands that there's a pack here and he's got to go around me, so he gets the message that we don't want him to cut into this pack, but he can kind of see everything. If there's a problem, he's going to know it. He can communicate as he needs to with whomever. But that guy in the back is usually an experienced biker. He's going to be usually he's somebody who knows how to ride his motorcycle, but he also understands how everything is supposed to be. So when you stop for gas, if somebody's fucking up, he's going to be, hey, you need to do this better. You need to speed up, slow down, keep your lane proper, and this, that, and other thing. And he's going to say, hey, here's what the riding formation is. The better clubs and the bigger, larger clubs ride together a lot in big packs. So you really have to get good at that. So that back door, that tail gunner, is an essential part of that, because you can't just jump out there with 75 guys going from point A to point B and it just goes smooth. Takes practice, and also takes a little bit of oversight here and there. So everybody plays their position, and the back door is definitely a big one. Let me see what else we got. Backyard. Okay. What's a bar hopper?
Oh, that's somebody that just rides their bike between bars.
Right on.
And it's usually a small ass bike, probably uncomfortable as fuck if you're going on a long trip. But
right. Yeah. So the bar hopper, it's just that a lot of times it's not. And so now I will say this, a lot of bar hoppers that we see in Florida, and I saw this a lot in LA as well, but a lot of the bar hoppers are stupid nice. And they're going from one bike night to the other, and they're going to put that bike in twice a week. He's going to enter it into some bike show or something like that. But that dude he's not going state to state. He might not even leave the city or the county. But he's going to bar hop all over the place, showing off his pretty bike, and he'll talk about his motorcycle all night long that never leaves the city, But that's a bar hopper, and you're right. A lot of times it might be a Sportster, or it might be a Jap bike like the M109 Suzuki. I've seen a lot of those, even though that's the kind of bike that'll do a lot more than just local. But a lot of times the guys that have those, they ain't going nowhere. They're going to bike night. They're going to their favorite watering hole or whatever like that, So let's see what else we got here. Okay, while we're on the subject, what's a bagger / dresser?
Well, I would say a bagger would be, and I classify them differently. So a dresser is fully dressed. You got the trunk, you got your bags.
Yeah.
You got a fairing. You're not riding bored as fuck because you have a radio.
Yeah.
So a bagger, in my opinion, is a dresser without a trunk.
Okay. Kind of like, and then, so just to fine tune a little bit. So a bagger can actually have the tour pack, that's the trunk in the back and the bags on the side. Just depends, because, people can customize these things within an inch of their life. But typically a bagger is going to be a bigger touring style bike. It's a lot of times it's more comfortable. You got the music, you got, it's shining like new money and all that kind of stuff. But when you see guys go, especially if you see like a big group of guys going state to state, 9 times out of 10, they're on baggers. So like when you see these guys in Florida heading up to Daytona because it's bike week, you will see some guys on like, standard bikes or cruisers or choppers or whatever like that. You'll see them on the interstate, but they're not going that far. They're staying somewhere within the state.
Yeah.
You see them breaking state lines, 9 times out of 10, probably 10 times out of 10, they're on a bagger because they got to bring stuff with them. They got to have they got to have their, 4 ounces of clothes or whatever they got. And then the old lady's got to have, 75 pounds worth of stuff. So she's, so a lot of times you're breaking state lines. You're going to be on a bagger a lot of times, even though I do know guys that have jumped on a sport bike and went many states away. I'm talking a guy on a ZX14, a guy I know has a ZX14. He's been from Florida to North Carolina to Georgia, went to Texas another time. I know a girl that did that on a ZX14.
More power to them, because I like to be comfortable.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, and I've done some long rides on some less comfortable bikes back in the day, but ordinarily, shit, I went to Miami on my Raider just a few weeks ago, and which is, it's not the Harley, but it's not like as bad as being on a sport bike either. But
no.
It could be done. And let me see what else we got. You hit me with a couple. What do you got?
So I get that our main audience is people that live our life, but here's one for those that don't. Pee.
Okay. Okay. Well, depends on who you're talking to. All right. No. I mean, now, when we say pee, a lot of times we're talking about the president of a chapter. We say, hey, that's our pee. We're talking about the president of the chapter. But sometimes we're talking about a thing. We're talking about a prospect, the rags that a prospect wears. We'll say, hey, where's your pee? We're talking about his stuff that he's supposed to be wearing because he's a prospect. He's not a full patch member. But usually, if we're talking about a pee, we're talking about the president of the chapter. Aztec, what's up, man? Aztec Cruising USA. Good to see you here tonight, sir. So, and by the way, since you're here, hit the like button and make sure you share this with everybody and their mama.
And subscribe.
And your father. Damon Blue, Fi New. What's up? Hey, well, yeah, just a citizen gaining new education. What's that? Just a citizen for now gaining education. That's the best thing to do. It's always good. There's never a bad thing to get education, man. So thanks for coming through. But now since you're here, we're gonna have to charge you a like. So hit the like button. And that was kind of smooth, I just extorted it. Yeah. Hit the like button,
and share.
Yeah, and share, definitely, and share.
We'll let you watch next week if you share.
Yeah, that's true. We get free tickets next week if you share tonight. But yeah, so I think that's what so that's actually a really good one to pee. What is a cage?
Wow. So a cage would be any kind of vehicle that's enclosed, or in my opinion, and I know Brandy's watching this, so I'm going to get shit for this. Them stupid fucking cars, the T-Rex or whatever, the slingshots, that to me is a cage because I can't see around the damn thing.
I've been hearing that argument for a few years. Like, is it a car? Is it a bike? Is it what is it? And, I had one for a long time. But, by the way, Damon Blue, when we're talking about citizens, that's you. A cager is one who operates the cage. The cage might be a car, a van, a truck, something like that. So that's what a cage is. My cousin, hey, cousin, what's up? Cousin, thank you for coming through. As per everybody, cousin, price of admission, hit the like button, hit the share button. Go ahead and do that for us, sir. Thank you very much. And so look, the phone number here, if y'all have any questions, you want to give us a ring, it's 310-870-8994. Hit us up if you got a question. But I got a question right now. What is a crotch rocket?
Those are them stupid ass, uncomfortable sports bikes that I am completely against, because let's face it, a lot of us ride at excessive speeds, and I would much rather be sitting back and have somewhat of a reaction time than to, when I hit something, be halfway over my front tire already. But so that would be a crotch rocket. Any kind of sports bike that they're typically made of plastic. A lot of the kids my age and younger, that's what they're into. Why? I don't know. They have death wishes, I guess. But
I mean, I get the attraction. Sport bikes are fun. They're fun. You can zip around, throw them around. You can stunt and everything like that. But I think like I ran into a dude about a week ago, and he pulled up to me. I was coming back from Pasco for something, but he pulled up next to me, and I saw him in the rear view for quite a while, and he was getting it. I saw him way back, and he caught up with me. And he said, "Hey, what's going on?" Da, 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 da. He goes, "I saw you when you went past, and I saw the Marine Corps stuff." Da, da, da. He was chit chatting, and he had his face, his full face mask on, and I could barely hear him. I'm like, "What are you saying?" And he said, "Oh," he pulls this thing up. This guy was my age. I was like, "What the hell?" I'm like, and he was on a tricked out Kawasaki ZX10. I was like, "Oh, okay." And so we chit-chatted briefly. I was like, "Hey, nice bike." He goes, yeah. This is like my third one, but this is the one." He goes, "I'm gonna get the H2 next," and da 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 da. I'm like, oh, "Okay." And then light turns green. We go on about our business. I remember thinking, "Damn, this dude is up in years," because usually it's sort of like a graduation from the sport bike to Harleys or cruisers. But some guys, I know some cats who've been on sport bikes forever and ever. By the way, I wanted to point this out too. So a sport bike is one of these, high performance sport motorcycles. They're thinner, they're geared differently, those things, right? They call them sport bikes, crotch rockets, rice burners, all like that. But what they're not is a street bike. Because I hear people say, "Oh, I got me a street bike," and what they are talking about, what they mean is they have a sport bike. A street bike, by definition, if you're talking about like Harley Davidson Dyna, that's a street bike. It's a motorcycle that is designed for the street. A cruiser is a more general style motorcycle that's made for cruising, typically longer distances, not necessarily state to state. Now, a touring bike, that's for going all around the damn country. You're just like the name implies, touring, state to state. But a sport bike is not a street bike. And that's something that some of these sport bike guys will die to damn death arguing that their sport bike is a street bike. It's not, it's a sport bike. But I digress. Just had to get that off my chest because it keeps coming up. And I'm like, dude, you're 12 years old. Why are you arguing with me about this? I've been riding these motorcycles before you were glimmering your daddy's eye and all this kind of stuff. All right. Hey, all right. I got one for you. Mouthpiece. What is a mouthpiece?
I don't know that one.
Okay. Mouthpiece is, I'll give you a tip. Archbishop is a mouthpiece. As in, so a mouthpiece is either your the attorney for your club. For you, it can be you individually, but for certain clubs at a certain level, it's not uncommon for them to have a legal representative who represents members of the club should something come up. So that's your mouthpiece. Then you have a club mouthpiece, or someone who's referred to as, "Oh, that's our mouthpiece." That's a brother in your club that knows the bylaws frontwards and backwards. And
that's AB.
Say what?
That's AB.
Yeah, that's AB. He knows the bylaws, and if somebody's in a jam or somebody's trying to get jammed up or something, he can off the top of his head, hey, wait a minute, section 4, section 4, subsection D says such and such and such, so you can't do that. Oh no, no, that's not what that is. What it says is, well, somebody says something. No, that's not what it says. What it really says is such and such and such. So he's like the MC mouthpiece. But then there's actual attorneys who we, it colloquially refer to them as the mouthpiece. That's your lawyer. So if you hear somebody say that, I'll hit you with one more. What's a squid?
An idiot.
Yeah.
And we see them a lot here in Florida. Shorts, tank tops, if they have a shirt on at all.
Oh yeah. Flip-flops.
Flip-flops.
Yeah.
They might have glasses on just so they don't get pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
Them stupid ass golfers hats with the
like the visor thing.
That thing.
Yeah. That is a quintessential squid. A squid is somebody who, for some ungodly reason, was able to purchase a motorcycle and thought it would just be cool to have one, and they went out like they had just left their living room going to get milk, and they're riding to Tallahassee for 4 hours away, and they're going to go out not prepared for anything. And 9 times out of 10, those squids ride like idiots. They do stupid stuff. They're the main ones that you're hearing about on the news all the time, because they're out there just, la, zipping around on this machine, which can kill you and other people, like without a care in the world, in their damn flip-flops and whatnot. And so that's a squid. Being a squid is not a good thing.
No,
that's not a good thing.
That's like against our whole thing of dress for the slide, not for the ride.
That part.
The only thing they're dressed to slide down is, I guess, a slip and slide.
Yeah, right.
They're going to the beach.
If he's hitting the water park that's 2 minutes from his house, I might look the other way. But otherwise, this is a no squid zone around here. But yeah, so that's what a squid is. There's some goofy motherfuckers. Don't be a squid.
Here's one for you.
Clinton Lund says, thanks for speaking on how this can be regional. Very true. A graybeard told me in the 80s and 90s, he could tell the area of our city where you were from by their style of bike, and how they carry themselves. That's very true.
Oh yeah.
And, that's something that folks can see also, regionally speaking. So like a lot of times, even though Tate, I know you wear some Chucks every now and then, but that's considered like
that's a West Coast thing.
Yeah, that's some California shit right there. So you don't see that a lot. So the reason that why do I know that? Because when I see Tate in some Chucks, I'm like, damn, that's Jax from Sons. That's some California shit. Like over here, they're like, what the hell? So like when we show up, or like if I'm in LA and I do the style that I do here, that might be considered a little odd. Nobody's gonna say shit because me and my jewelry or whatever, but it's definitely noticed. Like you can tell straight away. There's certain things that are absolutely regional. So thanks for noticing that, doggone Clinton. And let me see what else we got. Oh, okay, your hog.
What's a hog? Well, it depends on who you ask.
Right, a lot of things. Yes, sir.
So, hog is what's the word I want to use? It's a big term for a large group of idiots that only go to lunch once a week, and that's where they ride their bike. That's your Harley owners group.
Right, exactly.
Typically, a hog, though, is any kind of Harley Davidson motorcycle. And the story I was always told was the reason it became called a hog is because back when they were racing motorcycles, whoever won took a hog, a small baby pig, and did a lap around the track with it. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Yeah. But it makes for a great story though, because I've heard like that. I've heard a similar version of that, and who knows? Because like once you get a certain age, you can tell. And if you're 70 years old, you can tell somebody who's 30 anything, and it's going to be hard to verify it, And sometimes I think these cats just say stuff to us just because they're wondering if we'll believe it because it's entertaining for them. But so if we're talking about, if you hear us talk about hog, our iron, or a scoot. What we're talking about is the motorcycle that we're riding. Now, if we say hog, typically we're talking about a Harley Davidson. But if we say your iron, a lot of times still you're talking about a Harley, but it could be something else. You say your scoot, that could be anything. That's your motorcycle. But usually those are expressions that we use for cruiser style motorcycles, not sport bikes. And then also, oh, you know what I was going to do? Somebody asked me to, I got a text earlier. Let me see here. Aztec saying, I despise squids. Yeah, I understand. But so somebody asked me to translate the damn, and Damon, you got a question, we're going to come to it. Somebody asked me to translate the damn the show description. Like, what the hell did that mean? All right, so we'll do that in a second. But Damon just said that he has a question. Damon's question was, what is the proper way to signal and respect a MC club when you approach on the highway and need to ask for permission to see if you can pass? Bro, that's a great question. We've covered that before, and I'll do it again. So what's going to happen is, let's say if you're coming from the rear and you see you see a club riding in formation, and more than likely they're in the left lane. They're left lane hogging, we call it. So they're in the left lane, and it's 50 of them or whatever. And so what you want to do is you approach the guy who we talked about earlier, the tail gunner. That's the guy at the back, the back door, the tail gunner, whatever. You want to move up to him and motion to him that you want to pass. So at this point, he's going to either, once you get his attention and so forth, he's either going to give you the go ahead, and he'll give you the motion like go ahead. That doesn't mean go all the way ahead and pass. That means go up to the front. He may actually get out of formation, get out of the position that he's in, pull up next to you, and escort you to the front. Once he escorts you to the front, he's going to go, hey, or what you're going to do is motion, can I pass? Or he may motion, this guy needs to go ahead. Whoever's in the front of that pack is going to give you the go ahead or to fall back. If they say fall back, please do that, because there's a reason as to why. Maybe they've got a move going on. Maybe there's something else going on. It could be any number of things that you're not familiar with, but for whatever reason, if they say fall back, just fall back and be patient. If they give you the go ahead, then you go ahead. You don't burn out. You don't do a wheelie. You just move, just gradually move forward in a respectful rate of speed. You're not burning out or nothing like that. You're like, hey, thank you. Give them a hey, thanks, and going about your business. If the guy in the rear, let's say you pull up to the tail gunner and go, hey, can I pass? And he gives you the go ahead. Same difference. You're not burning out, hauling ass from the rear to the front. You're going to get some unwanted attention. You'll do it in a graduated, methodical move, and you stop when you get to the front. And again, can I proceed? And he's going to tell you yes, no, maybe. So, he's going to give you instructions as to what it is that you need to do. But the fact that you want to do things properly and respectful, that in and of itself speaks volumes. And so please keep doing that and share that with other folks so that they understand there's any number of reasons as to why it is that you don't want to give that club a hard time, as far as especially when they're in formation, because when they're on the road in formation, they're in club mode. A lot of times citizens are in party mode or something else, but it don't matter. If those guys are in club mode, let them do what they do. And it don't mean they're trying to tell you nothing or anything else. Just respect them doing what they do. And, later on, you probably run into them cats. Yeah, I saw you guys I was riding a such and such. Hey, let's have a beer. We can chit chat. We can be cool, So I appreciate that question, man. That was a great question. And let's see. So Damon, so Aztec was saying, yes, you can, Dragon, because there are clubs dedicated mainly to choppers. Yeah, there are. Okay. And let's see what else we got. Oh, so here, I'll throw this out. Oh, wait, did you have any more?
Chapter versus charter.
There you go again. Okay. This is a good one. This is a really good one. So chapter, what he said was chapter versus charter. Sounds like the same thing. That's some club shit. Chapter versus charter. Because we know, those of us on the East Coast, man, everybody's got a chapter of this club and a chapter of that club and chapter of the other one, right? But are they really? If you're in LA it's a charter for this one, a charter for that one, and a charter for the other one. Are they really? All right, so here's what's up. So a charter, or actually I'll start with a chapter. If you're a part of a nationwide club and the mother chapter of that club is from Norfolk, Virginia, just to go all mid-Atlantic with it. They're from Norfolk, Virginia, first chapter. And then 2 years later, some of their guys moved from Norfolk, Virginia to Los Angeles, California, and they want to start a new chapter, a new group of that club, right? And the guys in Norfolk say, okay, we're going to tell you what to do and how to do it, and you're going to follow our directions so that we can, bridge some gaps and, let you meet the right people, and we're going to oversee and help you out to get all that going. And they're like, okay, of course, your mother chapter, whatever y'all say goes. And then 10 years down the road, they got 50 chapters all over the country, right? And the mother chapter is doing the same thing for every single chapter that came about. Well, guess what? Every one of those 50 different locations is a chapter. They're an offshoot from the mother chapter, which is the very first organization of that club. Now, if same circumstance, those guys moved to Los Angeles and like, hey, we want to start a group of the same club out here. I'm like, hey, no problem. We're going to tell you what to do, and we're going to give you some instructions. Oh, we don't want all that. We got the name. We're members. We like what we're doing, but we're doing our own thing over here. Can we do it or not? Okay, y'all cool with that? No fights? Okay, fine. We're our own charter. I mean, they were given permission to start up out there and handle their business and do what the fuck they do. They don't got nothing to do with the mother chapter. They're not going to the mother chapter mandatorily every year. They're not doing anything that has anything pretty much to do with the mother chapter. They're doing their thing. And then the next one that comes up, they're doing their thing, and so on and so on and so on. The example I just gave is a charter. A chapter is beholden to the mother chapter, deals with the mother chapter, follows instructions from the mother chapter. Mother chapter is God. That's a chapter situation. A charter situation is, yeah, we got the same name, but we're doing our own thing. Here's the funny thing about that, is that on the West Coast, it's popular to use the word charter. On the East Coast, it's popular to use the word chapter. And a lot of times we're using the wrong word for what our organizational structure actually is. Is anybody going to tell you that? No. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But just to be all, historically accurate about it, that's the difference between a chapter and a charter. So that's what's going on right there. Chapter versus charter. So that's a good one, because that is confusing for a lot. Well, I won't even say it's confusion. It's just that people don't know that there's a difference between the two. But, what's that thing? When you know better, you do better, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So what do you got?
All right. So one of the things I was going to say is that a lot of the what do you call it, nomenclature, a lot of the jargon, a lot of the slang that we use in the biker world is old stuff. It really is. It's like throwback to the 70s and stuff. Oh, stand by 1 second. Hey, thanks for calling. This is you reached the Big Boneyard. This is Big Bone 1%er, and you got Tate on the Big Boneyard. So, who's calling us tonight?
It's Black Dragon, the Midnight Ghost Rider.
Black Dragon, what's up, man? I think we lost you earlier.
Bad. Oh, no, it's okay. I know earlier. No, but, I understand. I do. But what I was going to ask you, I got two quick questions I want to ask you.
Okay.
Now, what do? You got someone comes up to you, bike. Hey, man, that's a badass bike. Man, that is nice. And they get to touching your shit, and you say, hey, man, if you don't mind, please don't touch it. Oh, okay. Then they do it again. Mm-hmm. What do you do in that situation?
Before or after the police come? But,
say no more. Okay. And
motherfucker had too much to drink. Motherfucker had too much to drink. He tripped. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah, that part.
Don't touch my shit.
Right. I got 20 bros over here that say he slipped on a banana peel.
Okay. And I got another question to ask both of y'all because I really need you help. Y'all help on this. I got a friend. I ain't gonna say his name because he's not here with me, but he does ride. He rides with the Buffalo Soldiers right here in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna get straight to the point. But he's like, it's probably like 2 or 3 young people in it. But now they don't ride no more because the guys are older now. They just don't want to ride no more. And I brought up to him. I was talking to him today. I was like, hell, maybe we could get it going. Could that happen? Like me and him, I'd be like, well, he's been in the club. And I was like, well, hell, then I guess you could be the president. How would we go about that? You know, I mean, because they're not doing anything. They're not active anymore. They're just sitting. When you want some youngsters like, pick up the club and keep it going and respectfully, you know what I mean? Keep the, you know. Well,
let me ask the question, just so I can understand real well. Are you proposing to rejuvenate the existing club of Buffalo Soldiers? Or are you proposing starting a whole new club?
Yeah. No, not start a whole new club, rejuvenate. I'm sorry.
Okay, so basically getting involved to revive that organization that's already. So the first thing would be is, in order to do that, you would I mean, if you're talking about yourself, ordinarily this is the kind of conversation I'd say, hey, well, let's go offline with this. But based on what it is that you're saying, but based on what you're saying, I can share this with you. The first thing that you should do in order to help a club get stood up a little better and to grow a little better and to expand a little better, if it's an existing club that just needs another body to get in there to kind of get things hopping again, first thing you have to do is talk to them about joining that club. Because as a citizen or as a civilian or even as a known associate, you have no rights or no say so about what they do. That's their business. That ain't your business until you become one of them.
Okay.
I mean, hell, they may be okay with the fact that they're not active.
Yeah. Say that again, Tate. Say that again, Tate.
You know, that specific chapter may be okay with the fact that they're not active. Because, I mean, we can't speak for the Buffalo Soldiers as a whole because they're nationwide. But, I mean, that specific chapter, just like with ABATE, we have specific chapters that they aren't active. And those chapters are okay with that. Why, I don't know, because I always got shit going on. But on top of that, if your friend's already a member, and if he quit on him. He quit, but he's still a member. But he's been with him for a long time. But he quit. You know, I said, no, you can't quit, man. Did he quit or did he retire?
Right. Because if he quit, then he don't have no say so neither. You know what I'm saying? So the question is now, like Tate just said, did he quit or did he retire? Like, is he still good?
He told me.
Does he still have his rags?
He quit. I haven't got a chance. He said he's gonna call me here in a couple of days, and we're gonna talk about it. Yeah. So I don't know if he returned his rags back in with to the club, back to the club. And he's like, man, he said, oh, they don't want to do nothing no more, man. They don't even want to ride in our own area here in Charleston, West Virginia. They just don't want to do nothing no more. And I was like,
okay.
That's when I thought about,
sounds like you got some
maybe
conversations.
Rejuvenating it.
Well, and here's something I'd say. You keep saying your friend, your name's out there. If you're going to speak about a specific club, if you're going to speak about a specific club or organization, I wouldn't say what the location is because that may piss somebody off.
Yeah. You want to be a little more discreet.
Thank you.
So, but your friend,
thank you. Okay,
being a patch member of any organization, he should know his own bylaws. So once you become a member, if y'all are going to try to rejuvenate anything, I would suggest you, because I can't speak for clubs, but I know there's plenty of people in ABATE that never read the bylaws. I would suggest you read the bylaws through and through. Be a mouthpiece.
You have him do it because as a non-member, I don't know if they're allowed to share that with you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it has to be him. It would have to be him.
And then if they do allow you to join, make sure you know them, because you can't rejuvenate anything unless you know what the rules are. Because you may think, hey, we could do X, Y, Z, and that, I mean, let's say it's partying. Partying may be in their bylaws that you can't do that shit.
Right.
As a
prospect, yeah.
I mean, I know some local clubs around here that if you get caught with any kind of narcotics, you're done. So, I mean,
right. And I know some clubs, if you don't have no narcotics, you're considered stingy. You know, so it depends. It depends.
Right.
I know a specific club member that expects specific alcohol on his birthday. So
I love you guys.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Hey, Black Dragon, look, it sounds like you got some homework to do. You got to reach out to some folks and hit us up. Let us know how everything transpired.
Okay.
And
I will. Thank you.
Hey, in worst case scenario, if you don't look at a club, we have ABATE in Virginia, and we are attempting to set up a national board. So ABATE will be the way to go if you ain't, club friendly, I guess I would say.
Okay.
You don't want that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Well, man, hey, well, look,
right.
Black Dragon, we're gonna keep it moving, but hit us back.
Okay.
Hit us back next week and let us know how everything shook out, man. Or whenever you find out.
Okay, then I sure will.
All
okay.
Right, thank you. Brother.
Thank you.
Now, also, and man, that was Black Dragon and Midnight Ghost Rider, and also Chrome. I think that's Chrome from Biker News Canada. Hit us with a great question, which was, he said, "I have a good one. Are all club leaders elected, or is it survival of the fittest?" And y'all are gonna get sick of this answer, but
depends on who you ask.
It depends. Yeah, it depends, because in some clubs, so back in the day, a lot of clubs, black, white, or plaid, a lot of clubs back in the day was the baddest, toughest guy. He could have been dumb as a rock, but if he could beat everybody's ass, he was the president. And there were some clubs, a number of clubs, who kind of moved like that. The tough guy, he was the guy that was going to be the president, and he was the guy who would do the most dirt and smack the most people and all of this kind of stuff. But over a number of years, most clubs now, as it relates to being a chapter president or even a national president, it comes down to is a more democratic process. So typically, a president is elected, not appointed. Under certain circumstances, a president can appoint certain people in certain positions. In other organizations or clubs, the cabinet, which is what it's called, a cabinet, just like in the U.S. government, the cabinet can be either appointed by the president, or those positions have to be voted on as well. So it depends on what organization you're talking about. Survival of the fittest is a novel concept, and and it's sort of, for me, it's kind of nostalgic to, like, hey, you can go in there and show, like on the movies, they always show the president's always the guy who can kick everybody's ass. But flash forward to 2024, that's not really the case. A lot of times in the best clubs, the president is the smartest guy. He's the guy that can get things done, or he's the guy that surrounds himself with people who he knows his bros. So he knows how to get things done by working with other people. He can motivate the people in his club by working through other people. He's the face of the club. He's the mouthpiece, not the lawyer, but the spokesman, if you will. He's the face of the club. And but he's the one who's going to sit down and talk about different things outside the club and all like that. When the funny thing is, I'm veering off the subject a little bit, but the chapter president is not the most important or the most powerful person in most clubs. Those people are usually the VP or the sergeant at arms, because the VP deals with the people in the club. He manages the day-to-day stuff going on in the club. And the sergeant at arms, he's the guy who can check the president, the vice president, the secretary, the damn treasurer, the road captain, and every single member. Sergeant at arms. Sergeant at arms is usually the most powerful guy in any organization. It's not the president, it's Sergeant at arms. And the VP is like a second. So, but But that's kind of, so that's a great question though. And that's something that actually, and don't misunderstand me, the president is a very important position. What a president does is very important. He kind of, he beats the drum that everybody else is going to kind of sort of follow, right? But if the president's fucking up, because presidents fuck up,
oh yeah,
all the time. But guess who's got to fix that? Sergeant Arms. He's a first line of defense from a president that's a fucking idiot. Is a Sergeant Arms.
And you better hope you got a good one.
And I was told recently the Sergeant Arms don't have no damn friends. A lot of times he might on day one, but on day 352 or whatever it is, some of them guys are like, hey, that guy's a fucking asshole. I thought that was my boy. Well, he can't be your boy and a Sergeant at Arms. Not if you're going to fuck up, because a good Sergeant at Arms is going to call you, and you can be his boy and everything else, but he's going to get you. He's going to get you. He's going to get you right. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. So that's just something to ponder about that. So definitely damn good. That's a damn good question. And so what you call it? Aztec was saying the SAA normally is I was just saying that the Sergeant at Arms is normally the least liked, but the most busy. That's a fact. He's constantly doing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And Chrome said, I was a chapter VP. Where are we? Chrome says, I was a chapter VP for a few years. I'm 20 years retired now. I remember, well, I don't know if that's Chrome or not. He says 20 years retired now. I remember back then, older members would wiggle in on new guys hustles. Still go like that. How do you warn new members? That's a chore that I don't think anybody's ever figured out, because here's the thing, as it relates to new members, if you want new members or someone has potential, you want to advise them as well as you can, but the warning is that going to make them think, this club's a joke. I don't want to be here. And if you got people that are less than great in the club, you want to bring in some good guys to kind of offset that. You want to encourage these new guys who don't have any bad habits yet. You want to encourage them and empower them to not be taken in by the bullshit. Keep them away from the dark side.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully at the same exact time, if you're diligent, you can get some of those folks with the bullshit to reduce that shit to the minimum. That's kind of like what you kind of want to do. And
oh yeah, that
does not mean that it's easy. That's kind of like in the club world, that's a never ending proposition. You gotta love your club more than you love all of your free time and shit, because that shit can take a while. So my cousin, what was that? Biker News said, warn might be a bad way to put it. Advised to keep cards close to the chest. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And so Aztec was saying, was a Sergeant at Arms for a good many years. I got called an a-hole so much that people thought it was my road name. Yo, I believe it.
I can relate.
Yeah. Well, actually, you would relate. The state is actually the state Sergeant at Arms for A-Bait in Florida. So yeah, I'm sure you could appreciate that. Oh, so yeah. I'll share a few more things. So the thing was, I was saying earlier that that a lot of the biker lingo and biker slang is like throwback stuff from the 70s. I can't even call it throwback. It's just stuff that just never left, because a lot of back in the day, see a guy walking around with some crazy looking clothes and a bunch of tattoos and too many rings and all that kind of stuff. You figured either that guy, the tattoos was saying he was either in the Marine Corps or the Navy, or he was a pirate, or he was a biker, right? He was like one of them things, maybe a hippie, a biker, a pirate, a Marine, or a sailor. That's who had all of that stuff, right? So even though a lot of that stuff changed over the years and there's less hippies and less pirates, right? But so the language kind of stayed, and the language stayed with us bikers. So you'll hear us say all the time, hey, right on. I say it all the time. It's like, right on. That's an affirmation. It's like, right on, like, yes, we're going to do it. Or somebody says something cool. Yeah, right on, right on. So it just means like, okay. But we say right on. What's another one? Keep the shiny side down. Folks have been saying that since the 60s. And that just means keep your motorcycle upright. That's a motorcycle biker expression left over from the 1960s. Oh, the flip side. The flip side just means I'll see you later. You know, hey, I'll see you catch you on the flip side. I'll catch you later. Far out. I don't hear that one as often, but I say it. So far out. That means awesome. Out of sight. That means awesome. Boogie. So boogie. That means to leave quickly. Hey, I gotta go. You know, I gotta boogie on down the road. A brother. Oh, that's funny. You said brother earlier. So a brother, sister, sis. That's somebody you're associated with. But I still stick to that. Don't bro me if you don't know me. And now everybody sis this, sis that, sis the other thing. That used to be something that was exclusively in the clubs, but I'm hearing it now. It was like on like a PO of a 1%er club, you would refer to that PO as sis. Unless if it's somebody else's PO, hey, that's sis. They refer to each other as sis. Sis. That's a name that's short for sister, just like bro. So it's the abbreviation. But now I'm hearing this from all kinds of folks that have nothing to do with the Diamond Club or any of that. So last thing that I was asked to do was to translate the description. So what I said, the description when I read it earlier, my buddy who's a citizen met a guy who's a biker at a gas station and went to talk to him after asking his question. The biker said he was trying to go to where he owes. That means he was trying to go to where he owes rent, like as in he was trying to go home or he was trying to go to the clubhouse. He said he wasn't going to go back to the CH. CH means clubhouse. He wasn't going back to the clubhouse because his backpack, that's the old lady on the back of the bike, his backpack flipped his lid on the north side of their AO. Flipped his lid means she lost his helmet, like his lid, like his helmet. So she lost his helmet on the north side. Where was it? On the north side of their AO. So their area, their territory, they were on the north side. That means they were far away, outside, almost outside of their AO. Or let me see. On the north side of their AO. Okay, they were outside of their AO. All right, I've got to read it slowly. All right. And he had the boogie. That means he had to leave quickly because the ops, that means their enemies, the people they're not cool with, was froggy. That means they was wanting to fight because the ops was froggy, and so was one time. One time, that's the cops, that's the police. So after one time, that's the police. After the police got hot, that means after the police started coming at him or chasing him or something, after one time got hot, he hit the slab. The slab means the highway. Hit the slab, I gotta go, right? Bust a sentry, that means that means hit the slab on the highway. Bust a sentry, that means I'm going 100 miles an hour, as in he's leaving fast because he already said he got a boogie. So he hit the slab, he bust the sentry and bumped the curb to the sat house. That means he bumped the curb, that means he located or he got to the sat house, satellite house. That's not the clubhouse, but that's their other place, right? Sat house, satellite house. So my buddy asked me, what the fuck is he talking about? Because all I wanted to know was what kind of bike he was riding. So what the fuck? So I understand, and as I wrote, if you didn't understand any of this, then you're probably a citizen. If you got all or most of it, you're probably one of us. Either way, we're going to chop it up about all of this crazy talk tonight on the Big Boneyard, which we just did. So that's what that is. So Aztec, so let's see what folks are talking about. So Garrett said, sounds like the same codes we use driving over the road trucks. Yep. Aztec says, I'm a young numerically hippie and a native cholo. Okay. Let's see. Mike House says, club barbecue or ride-alongs community. Do you have to be personally invited or all is welcome? Depends. Here we go with the depends part.
Read the flyer.
Yeah, the flyer is going to tell you a lot. So they're going to let you know if you're not supposed to be there. You probably already know it. But if there is a flyer, if it was put in your local magazine or something, hey, everybody can show up. If it's something that somebody told you about that they were invited to, best case is to take a look at the flyer, like Tate said, or ask that person, is it cool if I go with you? Because you were invited, I wasn't. Can I go with you? So now if you go with that person's responsible for you if you show your ass. So if you act up, then you're in trouble, and so is the person that bought you. But that's the idea behind it. But that's a great question as well, because you don't want to show up anywhere where you're not invited, if it's especially if folks are going to take offense to that. So Biker News Canada, I'm wondering, Biker News Canada, is that Chrome, or is that somebody else? Because I've seen Biker News Canada. I love watching y'all stuff, man. We have a lot of folks from Canada that watch us. He said they still use 86 for something you cannot do. Yes, they do. 86 is still very much in use.
Hell, they use that shit in restaurants. Take it off the menu. 86 it, we're out.
Oh yeah, I can believe it. Oh, he said, and where does that come from? I have no idea. It's been around for a long time. Biker News Canada was asking, where does it come from? That I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to try and find out.
I mean, hell, it may have started in restaurants for all we know. Take it off the menu.
86. Well, I'll tell you what, man. We've been at this a long night, because it's been a little bit since we've been on the air, but we've been on for 1 hour and 42 and a half minutes, and it's been good. I want all of y'all. So first of all, thank y'all for coming out and riding through, hanging out with us at the Big Boneyard. It's been good. This has been a fun subject, I think. And and so we're actually going to do this again for real in 7 days, because I know in 7 days the whole wide world, God willing, ain't gonna go crazy. A lot of my biker stuff calm down for a little bit, so for the next few weeks I will legitimately be able to stay here, get plugged in, let y'all know about different things that y'all need to know about. Keep it plugged in, and look, check us out on the Facebook page, where that's absolutely going to be popping. We're going to be doing the Facebook page and a lot of other stuff. But
in the chat,
Amber Whiskey says etymology is unknown, but seems to have been coined in the 1920s or 1930s. Okay, so that was about the expression 86. Okay, and and Soldier saying, yes, sir. He said, we got to link up soon, chop it up. Absolutely. In fact, if it's not too late, I don't know how long it'll take me to do some post wrap-up stuff, but if it's not too late, we can talk tonight. But if not, we'll play catch-up tomorrow. But Soldier, much love to you, brother. And much love to all of y'all that's watching on the Big Boneyard tonight. I'm going to ask all of y'all once again to definitely like, subscribe. If you have not subscribed, do it on YouTube, so it helps the algorithm. So like, subscribe, share, let everybody and their mother know about it. And if you dig what's going on this show, then definitely don't be shy. Feel more than welcome to donate to the show. It'll give us a couple of bucks to keep everything up and running. Tips and money not required, but definitely appreciated. So you can support at $ Bone OFFO. And because I keep asking Tate for money, but he keeps using cussing words, and it's very
important. Listen.
And his wife hit him.
You got this new fucking little key fob thing because you can't keep track of your damn keys. But my bike still ain't washed. My bike, I ain't got a new one yet.
Man, I got arthritis, man.
But
that's against my bylaws.
Yeah, mine too. So before we wrap all this up, if anybody's looking for anything to do this weekend, Leesburg Bike Fest is going on. If you want to camp, A-Bait's doing their campground at the Eagles. We open Thursday. We'll be there till Sunday. We got vendors. The Eagles will have their bar, which means cheap drinks. If y'all don't know what an Eagles bar means, we got bands every night. There'll be food and shit out there. And for a small fee, I may sign autographs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Amber said, and thank you for the reminder, Amber. So we've got an A-Bait state meeting in June that's going to be in Pasco County. I'm going to get a flyer and put that up on the Big Boneyard. I'll put it all on social media.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah, send it. But we want to post it. So for those folks, if you're in the area or want to come to the area, it's going to be a hell of a good time. So it's an A-Bait meeting, but then after the meeting is a party that goes on until next month. Or at least a long time. It's going to be a hell of a good party because folks are coming literally from all over the state, and there's a few folks invited from outside of the state. But definitely, definitely will show up for that.
I heard this one real asshole's going to be there. I mean, all the way from fucking Lake County.
Yeah.
And
I heard these things.
he don't crawl back in his hotel room till about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So
they don't like his ass because he's a sergeant at arms. He can't talk to nobody. He's a dick.
Yeah, well,
what are you gonna do? But hey, I'll tell y'all what. For those of y'all, I definitely want to tell you we appreciate you. Thanks for sticking with us, riding out on over to the Big Boneyard. We're gonna be doing this again soon. But for real, if you haven't made your way to the Facebook page, and join the Facebook page so you can get plugged in. I'm getting ready to flood over the next 3 days. I'm gonna flood the Facebook page with all kinds of really cool biker shit. You know, oh my bro, Mr. Indeed, peace to you, brother. Peace to you, brother. So, by the way, y'all see that right there? That American flag etched in wood, like it's black and wood grain with the Marine Corps emblem. That came from my bro. That's Mr. Indeed. We go back like easy chairs. Got big love for that brother right there. But yeah, man. But I tell y'all what, yeah, y'all keep rocking with us. We're gonna keep doing this Big Boneyard thing. Check us out during the week. And oh, by the way, on the 28th. We have a very special guest that's going to be on the Big Boneyard on the 28th of this month. I won't say who it is, but let's just say he's somebody that's pretty important mofo. A lot of y'all already know. Don't matter what part of the country, and you probably know who it is. But that's going to be on the 28th of this month. That's Sunday, right? I think the 28th. Anyway, but other than that, we're going to shut the hell up and wish y'all a great night and all that kind of stuff. And we'll see y'all again in how many days, Tate?
Well, if you're going to answer the damn phone, 7 days.
7 days. All right. I can do math, motherfucker. Anyway, hey, peace out, y'all. Love and respect to all of y'all. Let's do it like this.
Welcome to the Big Boneyard. Enter at your own risk.
To pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.